No, it wasn't always easy path for me at all. When I entered college, I was a Christian, and it was a large public university, and I was a biology major. And in one of those first classes, the biology professor told us we had to choose evolution or God, that evolution proved that there was no God, so we had to make a choice. And the pastors I met with said the same thing. You have to pick. You can't reconcile them. This was a long time ago, but I still hear a lot of pastors saying exactly the same thing to our youth. And the classes I took, the evolution was just so clear. The evidence was just so clear. And I was told I had to choose, so I did. And I rejected my faith and any belief in God, and I became atheist. And it was a very slow path back. I was graduated college an atheist, got a job working in a lab, and through a series of interesting events, I ended up teaching English in Japan to escape my life. And kind of came back to Christ while I was in Japan, writing letters back and forth with my sister about this God of the Old Testament and the confusing stuff. And she'd write me letters back, and I'd ask her more questions. And I came back to Christ, dedicated my life back to Christ, and came home. And then I had to figure out, how do I do this church thing and this science thing together? And I became a high school biology teacher, and my mom agreed to come to church with me. She wasn't going to church either. And we found ourselves a Presbyterian church. And I was very quiet about my role, my career as a biologist, and just started to try to figure out this Christian thing where you have to use your mind to wrestle with Old Testament ideas and New Testament references to Old Testament ideas, and it was very difficult. And when people in the church found out that I accepted evolution, that was not a pleasant experience for me. I was rejected by a lot of people. I've been called names. I've been told I'm not really a Christian. Someday I will mature enough to realize that you can't accept evolution and be a Christian. A lot of rejection. And I get a little emotional sometimes when I think about it, because it was a tough journey. And I went to a couple of different churches moving around, and sort of the same experience of hiding my biology career and my passions in science from the Christian community. But slowly but surely, things like BioLogos emerged, and books like Daryl's Coming to Peace with Science in the early 2000s. And I started to find that there's a community of people that reconcile these two domains in a beautiful way, and that I could be a part of that community. And so I felt a lot more confidence to speak up and speak out. And all of a sudden it's 2017, and here I am.